Well, ladies and gents, it's about that time for another round of the dev server, but this time it's for the Hornets Sting, and I'm gonna put a very big emphasis on that because that's all this update is really going to be, is Hornets. Now, don't get me wrong, I am not against that in the slightest, but I gotta get this out of the way for you guys. This update feels like the smallest we've had, or at least when it comes to a full major update. You see, we get small updates kind of like this, right? We get them twice a year around the end, so what, October, December? And they're usually just one big update that was cut in half. This one, at least from what I'm able to tell, kind of feels the same way, which is not exactly a good thing. But don't get me wrong, I'm not downplaying the Hornets in the slightest. We'll get more into those a little bit later in this video, but before I do dive into more of my own personal thoughts and opinions and somewhat disappointments, I do have to let you guys know really quick that this is, after all, the dev server, which means a lot is subject to change. Models aren't done. Flight models aren't definitely done. We all know how that works. Features might be missing. In fact, vehicles that you saw in the dev stream might be missing here as well. And I'll be real with you, I was not going to wake up at 5 a.m. just to watch the dev stream, so I have yet to see it. So you're going to be getting my genuine reactions. But again, please keep that in mind when I say take it with a huge grain of salt, because there's going to be a lot of features missing that we're not going to cover today. Map reworks, new additions, etc. Cool? Cool. I don't want to hear you in the comments saying, oh, Justin, you missed this and that. I probably did, but it's most likely not my fault. Anyways, that being said, let's go ahead and get started, shall we? Also, wait a minute, hold up. I forgot one thing. There's a lot of premiums in this update. If you do want to save yourself some monies, use my 3% discount. Cool? It's down below in the description. You get 3% off. I get that 3%. It's a great way for me to get paid and, you know, have you support the channel. So what's not to love? All right, but for real, let's go ahead and get started, shall we? Now, I'm gonna do a little bit of an awkward jump cut as we start with the Americans and go all the way down from Germany to Israel at the very end. Yeah, all I did was just swap angles to make my life a little bit easier for when it comes to editing. Now, if it wasn't obvious enough, we are getting the Hornets. I know there's gonna be one dude out there being like, are we getting the Hornets? Yes, we are. Cool. But we're getting a couple for the Americans, which I'm kind of excited for. We get an earlier variant, and then we get a late variant, of course, as well as a premium, to which we'll get more into in a quick second. But I want to take a look at this one, 12.0. When it comes to CAS capabilities, it's actually not terrible. I mean, you get walleyes at 12.0, which is gonna be nice. AIM 9Ls, a lot of them. Just more, different colored 9Ls, huh? You get AIM 7Fs, AIM 7Ms. Cool. I mean, yeah, it's not gonna be the best ground pounder, don't get me wrong, but you get Zunis. Not a whole lot of them though. This is definitely gonna be an air superiority fighter when it drops for GRB. Now, going over to the late variant, this is where things get a lot more interesting. I love the livery on this thing. It's very nice. Let's go ahead and take a look at its ordnance. You get 7 Ps. Cool. These are interesting. You get 120 Ps, obviously. You get AIM 9Ms, AIM 9Ls. You get also good ordnance. This is the important part, right? Seeing that we are a ground-focused channel, this is going to be the more important part for me. You get JDAMs, you get laser-guided GBUs, some big ones too, and big old JDAMs. Whew. You get a targeting pod, you get a Lightning 2, which is very nice. Zunis. I think this is probably going to be like the best choice for me, to be honest. You get the F variants, and then you also get the E variants. I think it just has a lot to do with, oh no, this is laser. That was going to be Seeker Head. One's laser, one's IR, which ideally I would use the Fire and Forget ones, but we'll get more into that as we move on through the channel and we make this video either in a wombo combo or as a dedicated. And moving over to the premium, let's see what you get. Oh, crap. Are you serious? AIM 7Ps, AIM 9 out. Look at all these bombs. What? Gaijin is not shying away from the fact that you also get the Fs and the Es in this one. Oh, come on. You know what? Listen, if you buy this damn thing, which I'm sure a lot of you are going to, use my code, would you? I want to get paid too. In fact, by the time you're watching this, I already have about a dozen sales just from the time I woke up. Yeah. Gosh. I don't really know what about this thing when it comes to like its thrust, its maneuverability. That's just not my area of expertise. If you guys want to check that out, go over to other brilliant content creators like Tech or Defin, etc., which he'll probably have something on this, and he's quite talented and knowledgeable. Now, moving over to the XM246, this is like, it's very shiny. It's like plastic almost. I don't know what to think about that. I have ray tracing on, don't I? I do. I was wondering why my PC was like, it sounds like a microwave right now. Holy crap. It's the Sergeant York's bigger, more modern brother by the looks of it. You get 35 millimeters, which that's actually not bad. Oh, wow. You get DM23. Now that's going to be wildly interesting. Even though, you know, this thing's probably toilet paper. Yeah, it's toilet paper, but it looks like it can survive some autocannon fire from the fronts. Maybe not from BMPs or CV90s and whatnot, but that is not bad. You get a search radar, you get a tracking radar. This at 8.3 with DM23 like that, this is going to be wildly interesting. And you get good gun depression too, minus 10 degrees. It's not terrible. All right, this will be very interesting. But anyways, that does it for the Americans. Let's jump over to the Germans. Well, to my German mains out there, you guys are getting a little bit of love. You're now getting the tiger head, which is a Spanish tiger. That's interesting, which means Germany might get something a little bit more interesting a little bit later down the line with the introduction of this helicopter. And Spain really isn't represented as well in War Thunder, I think. But yes, it's basically just the tiger head we know and love in the game. You get, you know, good Hellfires, you get the K variants of the Hellfires, you get Mistrals, which I'm not a fan of, to be honest. But yeah, we get a new premium. I guess that's pretty cool. And now we get another Term 3 situation with the Clovis. Oh yeah, with the 20 millimeter coax. What is it with the Germans and the French and their 20 millimeters, man? I'm not against it, don't get me wrong. It looks like we have, you know what's funny is like, these look like darts, and then maybe they're just heat rounds, but they look like kinetic projectiles, huh? Maybe it's not finished, I don't really know, but this is interesting. You get an auto-loading mechanism, you get a 5-second reload. Is it fully stabilized? It does not look like it's stabilized, although I was told it's supposed to. Maybe it's not done yet, I don't know. You get a heat round. Yeah, this thing's got to get darts. I mean, you even have the damn thing modeled, Gaijin. All right, just for regular heat or something. I'm sure this is going to be updated at some point. Do you get thermal sights? You do not. All right, this is going to be a very interesting vehicle. I don't really know. Wow, the color, like, look at the color from the turret and the hull. It just looks nasty. If you guys buy this thing, you know what to do. And then we get this big old bad boy that I'm sure I'm going to be seeing at top tier because you have a pretty beefy gun with APCR. But that is more than enough penetration to destroy most top tier vehicles from the side and even more so from the rear. And seeing that you drive this thing at 72 kph, 93 horsepower, I'm sure it's more than that once we spade it. But yeah, this is this is gonna be interesting. And that kind of does it for the Germans. So off next to the unintentional star of the show, Russia. Now, I haven't taken a look at the loadout for the new Su-30SM. But I've been told it carries quite the loadout. Let's check it out, shall we? Let's see. We get the 27ERs, obviously. The R77-1s, which, let's be honest here, R77s, even I can dodge them. They're that bad. I mean, yeah, sure, I have my moments where I get my butt kicked, but I usually unintentionally notch the missiles pretty damn well. Maybe this one won't really be that difference, but maybe it'll be a bit better. I'll leave that to the professionals. Lots of R73s, but I want to scroll down here and take a look at this. Well, we got the 29 TDs, we got some GPS guided bombs, the L missiles, but let's be honest here, we're all looking at one thing, and it's this. Oh yeah, look at that. 38 MTs, you get 6 of them on this platform. And you also get under fuselage mounted stuff for laser guided bombs like the cab. What is this? You get the TV guided. I'm sure you get a the Groms. Yeah, did this not get the new Groms? Give me a second here. 30L. Like I said, I haven't taken a look at this, so you're gonna have to kind of hang out a little bit. TDs. These are regular Grom guided bombs. I'm sure we had something more. I guess not. Okay, maybe I'm missing something. Let me know, please, in the comments if you could. But yeah, we're getting a crap ton of 38 MTs on a more versatile platform. And I mean, this thing is probably going to be maybe not miles better compared to the SU-34, but, you know, thrust vectoring, you have an awesome platform, likely has HMD. Does it have HMD? I haven't seen that yet. It does, or HMS. Why would you use the SU-34 at this point when you can just use this thing? Unless they classify it as a strike aircraft and an air superiority fighter or something. In War Thunder, right? There's the jet fighter and then just strike bomber or something. They have two designations, which means two different levels of SP, which means if you do well in this one, you can bring out the other variants for less or around the same price. So that means you have to deal with a total of 12 38 MTs. And that's also including the SU, or not including the SU-25. Okay, you know what? Listen, Gaijin, I get it. You know, you're power creeping the Russians pretty well, but damn. Jeez, you don't have to be that blatantly obvious about it. But I don't know. Let me know in the comments, please. We get the 2S19M1, another RD piece that's very, very shiny. I'm kind of okay with this one. What's the reload rate? It should be an autoloader, right? That it is 7.5 seconds of reload. First stage ammo stowage is 50 rounds. That is insane. Gosh. And then we have a boat. Wait, hold up. I missed something. No laser rangefinder. Okay. All right. That kind of sucks, in my opinion. But you know what? It is what it is. And then we have a boat, the SM4. Cool. More boats. Awesome. Let's go over to the British. Now, this is going to be very interesting. The rapier system for the British, but it is a Canadian SPAA, to which I can appreciate, of course, to my local neighbors up north there. I was kind of hoping maybe other nations would have this too, but I don't think many really did use it, or at least they used more fixed variants of it. We won't get too far into that. But man, this thing is pretty. It's very rugged, almost like a World in Conflict type model, which is not a bad thing. I can't play the game anymore because my PC won't let me. You know, it's just such an old game. But let's take a look at the stats on it, shall we? You get the 1E in the Mark II, 700 meters a second. Oh, man, I gotta get used to this little new menu, to be honest. I like the old one. You know, don't fix what's not broken kind of thing, but I understand it. 22.5 G maximum overload. 8 kilometer launch range, 15-second missile guidance time. The stock one is a little slower, same maximum overload, except you get 7 kilometers. But here's the cool thing. Around this battle rating at 10.0, you're not really going to be using this way too much, and you get the same trigger radius. I mean, sure, you want the better one, right? Because it's faster, it's probably more responsive. I get that, but realistically, you're not really going to use the whole 8 kilometers. You get what I was told is early gen thermal sights of Gen 1 most likely, which isn't terrible, but this is good. I'm excited for this. I'll definitely try to get a video out for you guys for sure. Name of the game for SPAAs is generally don't get shot at. Armored glass. I like how the glass is thicker than the RHA. Just what? But it is what it is. Next up, we have the Harry Hopkins. Cool. This thing is ugly. I love it. I don't know what it is with me and ugly things, right? Just okay. Not terrible. I mean, it's out of my realm of familiarity, to be honest, because I don't play down here anymore, but not too shabby in the slightest. Some more for you guys for sure. Can you bring this at the top tier? Hold up. Maybe. Yeah, I mean, you can. You can definitely bring it out there if you want to meme with this thing a little while, but don't really expect to get too much done. 3.2 seconds reload, 2.8 with an ace crew. Not too shabby. And then, of course, we have this big and heckin' chunk of a boat. You know what? You know how many people I piss off by saying boat? It's not a boat. It's a battleship. Yeah, I get that so often. No insult to you guys. I promise. It's a joke, okay? You can make fun of me, too. My hairline's a pain in the butt here, all right? Nice. This thing's... those bulges. Holy crap. Not too shabby. Not the best choice of words for this game, I think. But this, cool. I mean, I'm bad with boats, to be honest. So you're gonna have to forgive the lack of terminology here. But this isn't too shabby. Am I gonna play it? No, because naval is like the worst part for me. I think I suck at it, and as you can see, I have not had any grind on it at all. Except for like certain nations, but we're not talking about that. But anyways, let's go over next to the Japanese, which I'm sorry to say is very disappointing. Talking about boats, I forgot. We're only getting boats for the Japanese. You get the Matsu and you get the Type T14 Matsu. That's it. Just out of my realm of knowledge. I do apologize to my naval friends out there. Oh, this actually looks pretty cool. Yeah, you get a new boat, a couple of boats. I'm sorry to make this very short, but let's jump over to the Chinese. But one more thing, when are we getting the F2? Gaijin, you're bringing in all this stuff. Give Japan the damn F2, all right? And now China gets the J11B. Cool. I guess 12.7. What you got? What you got in the CAS department? Nothing. You get rockets. Not even many of them too. You get a little bit. You get PL12s, which is very nice, by the way. I love these on the J10. The PL8Bs. Do you get you don't get the E2s, huh? No, you don't, because the E2s have IRCCM, whereas the PL8Bs, they don't. They just, I don't know. Is there anyone out there that actually plays China at top tier for aviation? Please let me know down in the comment section. What do you guys think about the Chinese fighters in War Thunder? I'm very curious about it, but seeing that this isn't in my realm of expertise, we're gonna go ahead and jump over to the Italians. All right, I know there's gotta be at least one person out there who is like, you know what? We need another tornado. And to that person, if you happen to find them, I wanna ask you, who hurt you in life? No, really, like, what traumatized you so much to want to bring in another tornado? Don't get me wrong, they're brilliant aircraft in their own rights, but I don't think many would agree with that statement, because they're kind of poo-poo in GRB. They don't turn, you know, they're very, I love fighting them in GRB because they're easy. I can gun them myself. That says a lot, okay? Let's see. Let's take a look at the, the loadout for it. Wait, that's it. You don't get a loadout. Huh? No bombs, no air-to-air, nothing? Really? 11.7? Yeah, I'm looking at naval here. 11.3? But here's the thing, there's a targeting pod right here, which means this isn't done. There's probably bombs missing. I'm sure it has laser guided bombs. So give it a little bit of time before Gaijin actually fixes this thing and makes it, you know, viable, I guess, because I'm pretty certain they don't have a floating targeting pod just sitting there just to look pretty. So next up we have a boat. You know, cool. I'm sorry, again, it's not my strong suit, but we get a cool boat. But one thing you're not seeing that I almost forgot to talk about is a new premium. That's right, I don't own it myself, but yes, we are getting a premium Arete. I'm not kidding. This is, yes, let's see, 1150 horsepower. It's probably because it's not purchased, so we're not seeing the full stats on it. But you get, of course, you know, generation 2 or 3 thermal sights. You get DM53. You get the strongest round, well, at least not this variant because it's not fired from the L55. You get what is effectively the 3rd most powerful round in the game as a premium. You get laser warning. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing this, but do keep in mind, your optics are garbage. You know, they're not good at all. The commander sights are good, but just not the gunner. You have no armor to speak of, so anything that looks at you, especially when it comes to top tier MBTs, you're gonna get dumpstered on pretty damn quick. Autocannon fire from the sides, even from the front, is also going to be a big issue. And that lower glacis, oh yeah. We'll have more about this once the vehicle actually drops in the live server. And also don't forget my 3% discount link. So Gaijin was very clever for when it comes to this particular vehicle, because they made sure that you wouldn't get tricked during sim or anything by adding a French flag. That's right. Don't mistake this for the German variant. If they fight each other for some reason, now you know this is the French one, whereas the German one, let me look at that really quick. I think we just had it on. Doesn't have the flag, as you can obviously tell. So cool. Now you know it's French. But seeing that this is the exact same thing as the one we saw earlier, I'm just gonna go ahead and skip over this. We have a new, different martyr. Just, wow. Okay. Cool. It's a 105. Yeah, let's skip over that one too. And then we have this, which we already saw earlier with the Germans. And then next up we have a boat, the VTB-18. Cool. You know, I've seen like some really good players use this thing in some videos. And they do exist out there too, to be honest. And you guys make it look like fun, like a lot of fun. And then we have another boat, the Akonit. I can't quite say it. I do apologize. This looks pretty cool, actually. I like this. I gotta play naval at some point, but don't expect content from me. And then we have the Marne, or the Marne. I don't know how to call it. A big old destroyer, but cool. Out of my realm of knowledge, I do apologize. Skipping over next to this bad boy, the Tiger HAC. It is basically a UHT, but for the French. That's right. Look at this. You get the hot missiles, of course, which hit very hard. You get the Pars missiles, which I think to some degree are superior to that of the spikes, because when they hit pretty well for some reason. I feel like overpressure is a big thing, and you also get Stinger missiles on the side. This is a UHT just for the French, and I am all for that. And then that's it. Next up, Sweden, which is another disappointment right now. So for my Swedish mains out there, you guys are getting an F-18, a Finnish F-18. Yeah, that's it. I mean, don't get me wrong, this thing is still brilliant, and I'm looking forward to playing it myself, but when it comes to its capabilities, that's where things get a little bit less interesting for ground, I think. Well, yeah, you get 120Bs, you know, you get 9Ms, you know, 9Ls, but you don't get any CAS capable ordnance at all. You get no dumb bombs, you get no JDAMs, no GBUs, nothing. This is gonna be strictly an air-focused aircraft, which means if you bring this out, if you see this out in the wild for some reason, in GRB, they are hunting CAS aircraft, Su-30s, Su-34s, Rafales, everything. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing this play cap duty, but realistically, when it comes to GRB as a whole, you're not really gonna get too much mileage out of this thing because, you know, you get what, 1-2 kills, maybe a gun kill on a ground vehicle or something, but yeah, exciting, but not really for me just yet. You see, I don't think Israel is really getting too much love. But yes, they are getting the first premium F-16. Yeah, that's right, a premium boyo. They get no ground vehicles that I could find anyways, even though there's a lot more they can add from more, you know, IS-3s or captured IS-3s, T-62 variants, etc. But instead, we're just getting a premium F-16. What's it got? It's a Nets 12.7 for ARB, GRB. It's going to be 12.0. That's going to be interesting. Let's see. You get Mavericks. You get Python 3s that do not have IRCCM. Oh, actually, you get more missiles. Let's see. AIM-9L. Pythons are pretty damn good. You know, whichever you prefer. I like these, to be honest. But you get JDAMs, you get dumb bombs, you get these bombs, which I can't say on YouTube because they get kind of picky about that. But yeah, you get Mavericks. I mean, do you get a targeting pod? Doesn't look like you do. I don't know. It's just, it's good. This is a great aircraft. Don't get me wrong, but is it going to be worth it for GRB? I mean, yeah. It could. You don't get HMS though, so be very careful about that. Yeah, but that does it for this showcase. And that's it. That's everything I was able to find. I mean, I kind of went over through the entire tech tree a few times just to make sure I didn't miss anything, which I'm sure I did, okay? I always do for some damn reason in the effort to try to get this out to you guys as quickly as I can because I gotta, you know, get them views because this is kind of my job. But final thoughts. I'm disappointed, to say the least. Yeah, don't get me wrong, I enjoy the F-18, okay? If you guys play, if you're air focused, sure. Enjoy it, play it, love it. Don't take my word to face value, okay? But when it comes to GRB, it's like, there's nothing for us almost. And I get it, right? There's not a whole lot that can be really added. We're at a point in War Thunder where, you know, MBTs, we already have them, or at least we're going to be having just variants of them everywhere, which doesn't really spice things up, and I get it. However, there are a plethora of nations whose vehicles you can really add, guys, and you can add North Korea with all their cool stuff. South Korea, you can add, you know, Singapore with a T-84, or is it Singapore? Or is it Thailand? Thailand, I'm thinking the wrong thing. There's so many other vehicles you can add into the game that are from other nations, but you just don't want to do it right now. Instead, you're giving us a lot more air-focused content, which is fine, but not really for someone like myself who plays a lot of GRB. And I would know a lot of us play it because I just broke over 100K on this channel, which means I'm sure I get a lot of you guys who are strictly GRB like myself. However, I do want to get more into detail about this one. Really? Just why? Why are we... I mean, listen, Do you know how many people come into my chats over in the live streams and on the comments saying, oh, Justin, you're a dirty cast player because you're abusing the SU-34. And you know what? You're right. I do abuse it. I do love using it. But really? I mean, we're getting another aircraft that features another 6 of them. And this time you also get, you know, helmet mounted so that you can dogfight with this thing shortly after ground pounding the entire enemy team. And a more capable aircraft because it is way better than the SU-34, I would think. Am I ranting too much, guys? I think I might be. Gaijin, you didn't really need to add this thing in the way that it does. I fully respect it. I get it. But damn, dude. You just made GRB a lot more difficult for us. Good for me because I'm a Russian main. But yikes. I'm sorry, guys. And that's it. That's all I got for you guys for when it comes to this dev overview. And I was disappointed by the trailer, to be honest. I really enjoyed it because, you know, it's new content and everything, but it just didn't have that flavor. You know, go watch my react video if you guys want to get my, you know, official thoughts on the matter. But I'm looking forward to this update, but it is, to say the least, very lacking for me. Although, as always, I do appreciate the amount of work you guys put into this game, and I will always respect it. Just sometimes a little bit less than other times. Cool. Cool. Anyways, that's all I got for you guys. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this. If you have any, you know, thoughts, opinions, you know, things you want to see, let me know down in the comment section. I'll have more dedicated videos for each of this kind of stuff, just to, you know, kind of rant about it and just talk about some more things as the update progresses and more videos get introduced as part of the dev server stuff. Because remember, this is the first dev server, which means we'll be getting more very soon. Cool? Cool. Anyways, that's it. I'm out of here. Thank you so much for your watching. I will see you not only in the next video or even the streams, but most certainly in the Hornets Sting update. See you next time.